Good morning from the Yarn Closet in Tucson, Arizona. I am Laura. Hopefully you can hear me just fine. I will try to check on that. Mom, I just told you, don't text me. Thanks to the Patreons, we have more short finished object style podcasts that I'll be posting. I am the Yarn Closet or Yarn Closet AZ on Instagram. You can reach me at theyarncloset@yahoo.com. You can support over at Patreon, The Yarn Closet, or via PayPal at theyarncloset@yahoo.com. And you can follow for free on Patreon and get a lot of content in that regard. We do quarterly gift giving to all of our supporters and participants. Participating simply means you're commenting on our YouTube posts. My hair is up like this because I finished another sweater and I want you to get the full effect of the neckline. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'll push my chair back. So this one remarkably grew, 3 inches in blocking. The color work opened up really well and it became much drapier, which is what I wanted. I did this bottom up. I got so bored with this Lines brand merino that I threw in my version of color work, and then I thought I was going to finish, and I thought I was going to put in a yoke, doing yoke bottom up, but I was so bored with the yarn and so challenged by the bottom up yoke construction that I just did some 4x4 ribbing. And I was quite pleased as it grew that it gave me this kind of saddle, because I like short sleeved sweaters. So it was pretty darn easy. I did a different style of construction in doing these, the ribbing here, because I wasn't sure if I'd have enough space. I have more than enough space because of how much give this yarn had in blocking. And because when I crocheted, I didn't use a lot of merinos, a lot of more expensive yarns, because most of what I crocheted was stuff for kids or for household use. I used far more blends and cottons and acrylics that could be easily washed and dried. So I am learning, and I will take you along for that learning process. Since I did not do the yoke construction, I ended up doing the bottom-up raglan construction, and I got these terrible floats. And then I kept forgetting which side I was doing the knit two together and the slip slip knit, and so I ended up sewing up my raglan spots. It doesn't look great. After blocking, I found some areas where I had messed up in my ribbing. Whatever. But for my third fancy sweater that's knit, I think it's okay. People honestly didn't know today when I was wearing it that it wasn't store-bought. One of the most interesting things is, I'm not doing that, I'm too old now. This sweater has taught me a lot. I really do like the drape of this sport weight, and if I have a plan beginning to end, like most people follow a pattern, I think if I have a better plan beginning to end, I'll get a sweater done faster. Remember, I have no sleeve island, so that helps a lot. I like the slightly more open necklines, although I don't like my red blotchiness, but whatever. And I don't have to do any bust shaping. Although, since my surgeries and removing 5.5 inches off my bust, they are getting a little fluffier. Like some breast tissue is growing or something. So I think I have a really easy road for sweaters ahead. And I have learned that I get bored unless it's a real tonal solid, or unless it's got more color work, because I speed through the color work. I just love the colored yarns, the hand-dyed yarns. So I'm learning what's going to get me through a project faster. And someone asked me recently, because I posted some information on this crocheted sweater that I made for my daughter, and I have not yet washed and blocked it. I literally finished it on the day she needed to wear it. So it will look a little bit better once I do that. But this is crocheted. It's just a simple top-down raglan for a child. How do I say this? It doesn't fit her quite so that the button bands come together. It fits her so that they're open more. So I think I needed to make a slightly larger size, and then I wouldn't have had so many rounds to get to the right sleeve size. I like the knitting of the raglans, but I don't like the fit. I like the crocheting of the raglans, but I don't like the fit. So that is a bummer, man. A bummer. Got to figure out something else there. And I do like knitting in the round from the bottom up, since I have no shaping. And then I can just add the saddles. I mean, I do like that, but I just have to pick my yarns better so I stay more engaged. So this is just specifically this finished object podcast. And, you know, it's the whole IKEA effect. I've got some errors in this, some pretty glaring errors if you're a knitter, but I put them on the back, because you can make either side, the front or the back. And I did it myself, so just like my homemade haircuts, the imperfection doesn't bother me because I did it myself. And so try it. Have some confidence. Know, because I knew the whole time I was doing this that it was problematic and I'd have to sew it up. And I did, and so there's actually kind of a seam on the inside where the raglan is that's kind of thicker. Who cares? Who cares? Because it's a learning lesson, and there's growth in that, and each one will be better and better and better. So look with your heart first and enjoy your week.